Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, all. I hope you're doing well this morning. Happy Thursday. We're over hump day, right? We're over hump day. Good morning, all. Karen Davis, the first to say good morning to Bullhorn Betty and crew this morning, followed by Texaholic. Nice to see you. Christine from Colorado. Gigi for life. Karen G. Rebecca, nice to see you. Nana of 7, Crazy Pepper Linda, Angela Burrell, nice to see you. Good morning, love. Good morning. Crazy Nurse 2.0. Nancy B, Robert R, nice to see you guys here this morning. Lana, nice to see you. Julia T. Who else do we have up in here? Patty Ponytail, nice to see you. Happy birthday, Nancy B. Happy birthday. I'm hearing it is your birthday. Big shout out from the Bullhorn Betty channel to you. I hope you have an amazing day. You are definitely a special person here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So I hope you have just do something special for yourself or make your kids clean your house. The things that you never get, right? Good morning and happy birthday. Nice to see you out here today. Who else do we have? We've got Cassius. Nice to see you. Crime Stories Obsessed. Emma. I don't have a phone number for you or an email. If you can email me, because I still want to kind of bring you on panel, actually looking at next week, just to hear your story. So I don't have a way to get a hold of you. I went on your channel to see an email and I couldn't find one. So if you can email me, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. You may have emailed me in the past. I just could not find you. So I apologize about that, but definitely want to hear your story and, show you some Bullhorn Betty love. So Jenny Lynn, nice to see you. By the way, Jenny, I don't know if it was you, but somebody had sent me, PayPal. I just wanted a big shout out to whomever had done that. That was very sweet. I appreciate it. We always appreciate. I will be applying that to the Idaho trip. I don't have a date yet. Date is coming up. I'm hoping to get a hold of the teammates and find out a solid date, and then we will start crowdfunding for those funds to get out there to kind of cover more in depth Michael Vaughn. And many of you guys have heard his story, especially if you've been following me here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We have been covering his story. Lots of questions, whether it was an abduction. We're a little concerned about Tyler Vaughn. But again, just because things don't look good doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything nefarious there. But I would definitely like to go out and help hand out flyers, talk to people, and just look at the area to find out if it was an abduction, how would it have taken place? How would they have left? How would they have gotten away? Those things that we're not getting through Google, and there's not, and it's, if you know me, I don't want to rely too heavily on the people involved, i.e. the family. At least me, is using the same strategy I use in all missing children cases. And it's, I like to hear from the family. I'd love to interview the family. But many of you guys know I keep an arm's length away. I do not get friendly because I have to keep objectivity. And, if we want an unbiased opinion, that's the way we have to roll. So, but anyways, I just wanted to give a big shout out to whoever the angel donor was of those funds. Thank you very much. The Bullhorn Betty channel, as well as I do appreciate it very, very much. Lovebug. I love that name, Lovebug 15. Many of you guys don't know. Maybe some of you guys do because you guys deal with me. I call everybody Lovebug. When you call me, you hear me say Lovebug, that means I love you. You're my Lovebug. So I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Lovebug 15, nice to see you. Caper Girl, nice to see you from Canada. I'm that bitch Mama Bear. Good morning. Is it Eileen or Eileen? Good morning to you. Jaded, nice to see you. Wild Still Horses, nice to see you. Rhonda Ray. Who else we got up in here? Kayla, good morning. Thank you, MIC, your message. You'll message me. Perfect. I think everybody else I've pretty much covered. ZZT, nice to see you here. Nice to see you. I'm here almost all the time making coffee. Love to all. Oh, sweet. Karen, A723, good morning. Lori. And Petro, good morning to all. Oops. Many of you guys know. Let me not try it. I took the TV. I used to do a lot of stuff because the TV that was behind me was actually a computer, not just a TV. And I took that down. Well, I have no place for it, so it's under my feet. And every time I turn around, I hit it and it knocks it over and drives me nuts. Nice to see you. Good morning, Patricia, Wendy, Wandering Hearts. Ooh, I like that name. I like that name. Charlotte Ann, Moonlight Magic, and Amy M. I was wondering where you were, Amy. I was wondering where you were. You were almost tardy for class. No. Just joking. Just joking. Man, we got some despicable people today, and I've already done some videos. Many of you guys know I'm trying to incorporate videos in Amalu. Nice to see you. Incorporating videos into this platform, short videos, 10, 15 minutes or less. We did a couple of them. The major video that I was going to release yesterday. Oh, it's nice you're at the office. I am too. Imagine that. No. Mine just happens to be attached to the home. That's all. I got to tell you, I'm not sure what's more difficult to do. Get up and go to work or get up and go into another room. Like, right? Oh, she's Kohl's clearance shopping. When is our tax-free? Are we in the tax-free time where we can go? Because I love it. If I wait just a week or two after school starts, I can go buy a new backpack. Very, very inexpensive. I love backpacks. I love backpacks for a number of things because I carry usually 2 computers. I have to say, I haven't touched the Dell in a little minute. I have learned to live on the MacBook Pro. I am now fully integrated with MacBook Pro stuff, right? It's like we never thought Bullhorn Betty would get to the point where she is fully integrated on a MacBook Pro because I never knew how to work Macs. This has been a major learning curve for me. But God bless the person that helped make the MacBook Pro possible. I know she watches. I can never thank her enough. Just a beautiful soul. And yeah, so does my tortoise. I must be walking into the middle of a conversation. That's usually when I'm back to school shopping starts. Yeah. Ohio's tax-free this weekend. Oh, good morning, Robin. Nice to see you. Good morning. I am Team Summer. Guys, I was sitting there watching. I see you guys here. Mom of 2 handsome sons. Oh, that's so sweet. Do you have a dog? I do not. I used to have 3. They weren't my animals. They were actually my husband's. My husband got Chance, which was my little pincher. America was given to him on Father's Day. And Layla, he went out to Arcadia and picked her up. Great dogs, though, but I travel entirely too much to have animals. I don't even have a cat or a fish. I have nothing anymore. It's just literally me. When I get up in the morning, it's me. When I go to bed at night, it's me. When I get pissed off and I want to argue with somebody, I'm arguing with me. Jennifer, good morning. Osprey backpack, they're warranted for life. It's any time of damages. That's the way that, do you remember, what was it? Gin Sports or what was that? Wasn't that Gin Sports? I can't remember. The backpack we used when we were younger was kind of the same way. And I remember the seams would always, I think it's because the weight of the books and stuff. I had to go with a bigger one with the leather bottom on it because I carried so many books. The bottoms of my backpacks just kept falling out. Children these days don't understand that because they get a laptop, right? They don't get these 200-pound books. JanSport, thank you, Crystal. They don't get 200 pounds of books that they have to carry. You want to know why my back is screwed up? It's from school. Like I've got degenerate disc disease. I got compression issues on my back, right? And it's from carrying. I remember when I was so young, we were just little kids, like 5, 6, 7 years old. And we're hunched over like this, walking home because our backpack is like this big. Our backpack is like literally bigger than our bodies. And we're trying to drag all these books home. And it's crazy. I never had a backpack. Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky. I remember you'd loosen it up, you'd tighten it up. It just didn't matter. It didn't matter. Good morning, Happy. Hope and Truth. Nice to see you. Lori, nice to see you too. Yeah. Lots of stuff back in the day that were good quality. I don't know. I this day and age, these kids, like I remember my sister when she was going to school. Many of you guys know my sister and I are many years apart. She's still my sister. Um, I used to go and pull her pigtails and stuff like that just so she felt like she had sisters because she was being raised as an only child because me and my older sister were already moved out and grown by the time Taylor came around. Mom, you know how that happens, right? I'm just curious. Just curious. Very thankful for my little sister. She's the apple of all of our eyes. Just a wonderful person. Why is it smart people like you haven't let us know more about Jose's background, Allie's ex background more about the U-Haul trip? Because there's really not a whole lot to say about Jose. First of all, when I get involved in a case, I'm looking at the relevant information to the case. Now, we did try to reach out to Jose. He was very, very hard to find. It took ICU quite a long time to locate Jose, and unfortunately, I tried. I couldn't find him. As far as his background, because he was homeless and bounced from state to state, it was very hard to locate his information. Even criminal background, I have not seen it. To be honest with you, I've never seen it. As far as Jose's involvement, he was gone 8 months prior to Summer ever disappearing. And the last time he spoke to anybody in that family, they were having a big old brawl in the front yard. And that was on October 14th, 2020. The very next day, Grandis, as we all know her, which is Candace Harrer, mom to Candace Bly, packed him up and took him across the state, got him out of there. And Jose's background was, it seemed like, at least from me looking in, he always had to have a woman take care of him. I'm not saying he wasn't a nice guy. He had problems. He had a lot of problems, a lot of substance abuse problems that he did not want to acknowledge when he was talking to Justin, right? People just don't flounder from house to house. I mean, he was homeless. The man, Jose Roman, was homeless. He was a homeless man. He never had a place of his own. He wandered from state to state. I mean, when he passed away, my understanding was he was in California. From my understanding, Grandis took him to South Carolina. How did he go from South Carolina to California? A lot of his information and his story and his perspective of what happened out on Ben Hill Road, I do believe in most cases, for the better part of things. Now, the one things that I did have took issue with is him acting like he was the savior. He's a homeless man living off someone else. Yeah, he got a job there right before Don got back, but at the end of the day, he was living in that home rent-free and not working, just like everybody else that was living in that house. He talks about, one of the things I don't believe is he talks about Summer taking the shower with her father and him going in there and taking her out of the shower. I don't believe that happened. Could it have happened? It's possible. I wasn't there. My opinion is it didn't happen. And what makes me make that determination? Because the brawl happened on October 14th, not whatever day he ripped, Summer out of that shower. I can guarantee if another man walked into a shower with another man and his daughter, that man would probably be willing to whip somebody's rear end. That brawl did not happen that day that he allegedly took Summer out of the shower. That's what makes me believe that most likely that didn't happen. Because everything that we know about Don and his violent past, a lot of people don't want to look at their past and say, shame on the people that are bringing up their past. Well, their past dictates their future. Everybody knows that. My past dictates my future. You guys have watched me struggle online, even though I haven't been in trouble in over a decade, but you watched me struggle online. with people talking crap about stuff that I did, 10 and 20 years ago. But I don't have children missing. My children are all accounted for. My stepchildren, I should say, because I don't have kids, right? But those grandbabies are mine. I was there since the day the doctor patted them on their little rear end. Those are my grandbabies. Been there through their sickness, been there through their health, changed their dirty diapers, fed them, nurtured them, educated them. So those are my grandkids. I get it. But Jose, outside of him being in the house and outside of Candace and Allie having this big old falling out over him, because let's face it, him and Candace were messing around. That was another thing that I did not believe him, because there was way too much information. Allie walked in on them in bed together. Grandis walked in with them on bed together. Grandis is the one that called Donnie and said, hey, you need to get your butt home, right? That's what inspired Don to drive like hell from Utah back. It wasn't because of a conversation he had with Candace. It's because Grandis called him and told him what was going on. Then him and Candace got into a fight on the phone. Next thing you know, he's driving home. It was just a misunderstanding, Don says to Chris McDonough and the interrogators, the behavior panel. That's what he said. It was just a misunderstanding. No, it wasn't. Your wife can't keep her legs closed when you're gone. Pretty simple. I said as soon as he went to jail, she would be, and she was. Benny Keys, right? Ernie Shell. Felt bad for Ernie. I think he was in love with the mullet. And Dolly Vision's been chasing that mullet ever since BK. Sorry. I was up watching Dolly Vision last night. I was actually in the chat. I was there for the long I was there for the long haul. And guys, I'm not lying. I think we were down to the 30-minute stretch. 30-minute stretch. I wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I stayed up for the whole time. And the 30-minute stretch to find out who was kicked off the island. Because it was a 2 for Tuesday, even though it happened on Wednesday. And I didn't go back and watch it this morning because I prepared a couple videos, and we're going to cover one in just a minute because it's in ad suitability. And then once it's out of ad suitability, I'll go ahead and release it. And the other one is still a despicable one. And I have to say, guys, you know what? I saw a massive amount of White Rabbits in that chat. People representing White Rabbit. White Rabbit, she's my therapist. Many of you guys know. I love her to death. She's my sister from another mister. And God bless her. You know what? She makes me look good. I have to be honest. I don't ask her for any help. She does that as a labor of love. And I just want to give her the biggest shout out and just tell her I love her too. And she is so sweet. But, she had her people up in there just representing. And here I am, the lone coffee club person with my coffee clubs. Everybody's throwing up turtles. Everybody's throwing up rabbits. And I got my coffee mugs. I got my coffee mugs. I had fun. I always, yeah, we love White Rabbit. Sorry guys, I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. Crafting through their lives, and Candace got kicked. Yes. And MGL got immunity. MGL, I hear, got immunity. Am I right about that? Because I think I was up for that, and somebody called in and got the golden egg, and the golden egg was MGL. Oh, you were throwing up bullhorns. There you go. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to get off the coffee and start throwing up the bullhorns. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I don't know the lingo. Maybe I don't know my own lingo in the chat. Yes, Molly, it was. Okay, good. So Marissa is safe for next week, and Bullhorn Betty's back on the chopping block. Oh my God. but I'm there with my friends, right? I'm there with my friends. So at least some of them, right? Because on the island, we get cliquey, right? We get cliquey on the island. Like they want to go over there because they think that they're going to get the sticks and build the fire and start putting their forts together and stuff like that. Well, we're over here doing the same thing, right? It's the red team versus the blue team. And we're taking the blue team down, man. How many people have we got kicked off of the blue team? We got BK was like the first. We got Rap. We got that stinky, tight, pimple neck, baby Gap with a crappy diaper. Who else did we have? We had, obviously Candace on the blue team is gone. Crafting Through the Lies on the blue team is gone. Man, blue team's is shriveling. Anissa was responsible for taking the count. She was usually Arkansas does it, but I can understand that task needs to be all the mods in there need to be required to do that task. That task is hard. It shouldn't be like one or two of the mods that do it consistently each week because it's tough. It's tough, and the reason why it's become so tough is because now you can save people. So you can add, for example, one night somebody decided to call in and save me and give me 1 point, but nobody had tried to boot me. So I was actually -1 going out one night. I don't know if anybody called my name. If they did, I'm sorry that I've offended you. I offend often. It's kind of my forte. It's what I built the platform on. I didn't know we had teams on the island. Oh no, I'm just throwing another curveball out there, Crystal. There's really no teams on Turtle Island, but we're so cliquey, right? We've kind of made ourselves red team and blue team, right? Like, we have our people, right? We have our people, and we're brawling out here in these on Turtle Island, man. We're just out here brawling. We're stealing our canteen stuff. We're stealing our supplies. They're coming in the middle of the night and taking our rope that we braided together and everything because they're too lazy. They won't make their own. 150 votes, then 50 votes. I was counting with my fingers last night. Oh my God. And so Anissa sends me a photo, and she's got all these envelopes, like, I have to invest in her a pad of paper. Just joking. And I'm just joking. Stop. I need to stop, right? I'm having too much fun this Thursday. But she has all these pieces of paper here, and she's got them all lined up in front of her. And she's got her little, 1, 2, 3, and then the cross through for the 5th, and you can see all these things. And she's ready to beat her head on a hard surface, because you get one strike for, let's say MGL. Well, then somebody will call in or, put $10 down to save her. So then you got one going toward her to knock her off, and you got 2 saving her. So then you got to do the same. It was just, it's crazy. God bless the mods over at Dolly Vision, including our beloved Anissa. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Connie. So, but it was so cute because, I haven't been in White Rabbit's chatting a little minute because I've been, researching all these cases and adding new cases to cover here in the morning. And so I just haven't had time. I'll go in there, and when I see her live, if I look at my phone and I see the pop-up, I'll go in there and tell her, good morning, beautiful. Hey, beautiful, whatever I can do, to make her feel good because she makes me feel good. And that's what women should do. We should uplift people, not tear them down, right? Women should be uplifting each other. We have a hard enough life as is. I mean, we got to deal with children. We got to deal with bitchy husbands. We got to deal with bitchy bosses, and we got to come home, love our family, cook, clean, and deal with all their nonsense too. Like, we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders, literally on our shoulders. Why would women want to batter on other women when we can be uplifting each other and doing good for one another and support ourselves as females, right? You got to remember, African Americans got an opportunity to vote before women did. I want you to put that in perspective. You know, women were just as much. I don't want to give away because we had a really horrible era in our country, you know, and I don't want to downplay the horrible era. I mean, Olivia and I are meeting and conversating about Emmett Till, you know, which was just a horrible event that happened in Mississippi. And in Mississippi, to be honest with you, had a lot of those things happen in their state. It was just I don't know where that kind of hate, you know, could come from to do such a despicable thing to another human being. You know, we treat animals better sometimes than we do other human beings, which is, to me, sad. But not in a sense of, you know, I just want to have a comparison. You know, women in all practicality back in the day were the lowest on the totem pole, literally the lowest. We had to fight for our independence. We had our fight for our right to go shopping without asking our husband for money. That is right. Back in the day, women had to go to the grocery store and they purchased their item and it went on. They weren't allowed to pay for their own groceries. Their husband could literally call into the store and say, she is not allowed to purchase anything today. And she would be prohibited from purchasing personal items. What women have gone through in this country is short of amazing, along with our Black counterparts, right? We were all in that horrible time together. We really were. So why would women be on YouTube beating the crap out of each other when you should be uplifting each other? I find it also equally odd that the people that are perpetrating the nastiness are over 60 years old. Guys, I'm not lying to you. Some of the crapsters on the streets of YouTube are old enough to know better. And they find it comical to tear down other women. Okay. Okay. You are not lying. You are not lying. I think these older women, I think the problem is they had to mature so young. You know, they had to mature so young. Back in them days, you get old enough, you marry off, you go have your family, you sit home and cook and clean, and you know that's what you were supposed to do. So I think a lot of these women out there never really had much semblance of middle school or high school, right? Because they were too busy trying to be too mature for their own britches, because that was what was required of them back then. That now that we're loosey-goosey in the USA, they feel like they want to go back to middle school and high school, right? They would never act like that when they were younger. But now that they're like one foot on a banana peel and the other foot in a coffin, they're like, well, screw it. I don't really care, right? I'm just joking. For you older ladies, I don't think you guys are got one foot in the coffin. I'm just... I love you guys, by the way. The nice ones. The nice ones. The nice ones I love. I still love... I pray for the mean ones, but I love the nice ones. There we go. Black Wing Paranormal. Nice to see you here, hon. Haley, nice to see you as well. My grandma wore the pants. She yelled for the grandpa and he be in her presence. Yeah, right? He did everything she asked. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. Well, there is a portion in the Bible that basically states that you should obey and in your husband. But, you know, there's a nuance to that. Everybody's like, oh, well, you need to obey your husband. You need to do this and you need to do that, right? Well, there's also a nuance in there that says that the husband is supposed to make a beautiful life for their wife, right? People like to pick and choose what they like to read and review. Sorry, guys, my allergies are still kicking. They're getting better, though. They're not near as bad as they've been. I can tell you that. Women should support women. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Heels in the ear is an old woman. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And nasty, too. And she's so busy trying to point the finger at everybody else. You know, this is a woman that's lived off people. She has nothing of her own. She had no good job whenever she was, you know, but yet she wants to point and mock other women consistently. Well, actually, it's not just women. Like, she just doesn't care. She just hates life. She's a miserable woman. She's a miserable woman that can't go nowhere because she can't afford to go anywhere, right? And she had this company called Renews-Its. She was considered across the news. I mean, since she's so happy that I talk about her, let's talk about her. I mean, did you guys see that video that she put out? She put out a video saying, oh my God, Bullhorn Betty said my name. Like, can you imagine that being the top priority of your day, is having some random YouTube creator that you've never met say your name? That's kind of creepy. But she had this company called Renews-Its, and this is why she can't get monetized, is because the account that she's using for Heels in the Air is the same account that she ran political stuff on, horrible political stuff. Hillary Clinton actually called Vicky Pate out by name as a radical white supremacist. She's been deemed a racist in the political world because of her commentary, her stance on certain issues. And this is legit. This is not somebody that's just being like, you know, they try to come out here and say, oh, Bullhorn Betty's a racist. Why? Because she said it. She showed an OK symbol. And people didn't realize I was on a campaign, truly went through multiple states on our campaign to say, oh, it's okay to say okay. Because I was absolutely frustrated that you would take something that I've used since I was a child, the OK symbol of all things, and turn it into a despicable gesture because some Yahoo says, oh, this is related to this. Now you can't use it. And it's like, I see all these little kids still using it. Nobody says anything to them. Let an adult use it. And it's crazy. I just don't play the PC crap, okay? I'm not going to get into political shit, but I don't play the PC crap. And so, but this, you know, so they try to say this. Now, mind you, my friends are all different makes, shapes, and sizes and colors, right? Like, I don't judge people based upon things that they cannot help, i.e. their skin color. But that's what they try to allege. That's somebody on YouTube, though. This lady, for all intents and purposes, this Heels in the Air lady has been deemed across the country, mind you, in multiple news articles. Vicky Pate with Renews-Its was flagged as a white supremacist and racist. Multiple articles identified her and explained the reasoning. She's not a, you know, people think she's funny. You guys are supporting some pretty rotten people on the streets of YouTube, and she is one of them. And she thinks she can control people with that stupid, and you can listen to the, I knew about the OK thing. It started, 2017. I've been doing, you know, okay, whatever, loser, right? For how long? Since I was a freaking kid. And in 2017, just 5 short years ago, now all of a sudden it's a racist sign? Like, it just doesn't ring true to me. I'm sorry. I don't put any stock in it. I will never put any stock in it. Leave our stupid symbols alone. Do you know that in sign language, it's still used to say okay? They taught this in sign language. How do I know this? Because I'm deaf in one ear. My parents wanted to teach me sign language when I was younger because they didn't know if I was going to go deaf before I was an adult. Yes. Vicky Pate with Renews-Its. Go check it out. Find out who she really is. I'm not going to throw her crap out here, you know, whether she's in Houston, Texas, or wherever she may live, and, you know, in the United States or whatnot. Believe me, you know, this is where I will be honest with you and tell you, remember that con man PI? Guess what? I don't call him. I call a legit licensed PI for my information. So I have everything that you could possibly imagine for Vicky Pate, i.e. heels in the air. So Vicky, if you'd like to see what's in your report, just go ahead and send me $250 and I'll be happy to hand that over to you. So don't ask me how I know, but I know when I know. But we're kind of getting sick and tired of her because she's vindictive, you know? So it's like even with Dolly, she was friends with Dolly until I popped up there. She doesn't even know me. You know what she's pissed off about me is because I'm associated with JLR, which she has stalked for over 8 years. This woman has stalked JLR for over 8 years. And whenever we started working together, she started stalking me and everybody around. So when Dolly and I started talking and wanting to collab on certain cases and stuff, she turned on him. She acts like, and not only that, but if you look at her account has like 8,900 people, but she can barely get any views on the garbage because it's not political. It's badgering. It's harassment. Like nobody wants to watch that was there on her channel for political purposes. That's why her numbers have tanked. She repurposed an account that already had a following. But because of all the political she can't get monetized. If she could get monetized, believe me, she would be monetized. But the problem is she doesn't want to set up a new account because nobody would listen to her. So she's only stuck on that one account, getting no views. So there you go. Vicky, I hollered your channel name out yet again. But it just came with a lot more factual information, not the unfactual crap you like peddling about everybody else. So getting into the news today, do you guys remember that we just had this come through the news cycle, the 12-year-old that nulled herself out of her restraints, and she was found in the house, and there was 2 corpses in the home, and JLR is a good person. He has a great heart and is doing a lot to find missing people. And absolutely he is, Connie, he is. And he does, and you know what? He doesn't, like me, it's hard to get me going. I like the team aspect when dealing with these cases, because I find that everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, and those are utilized very well. When we find out, what people's strengths and weaknesses are, we utilize those, in a collaborative effort, so people can utilize their strengths and provide a full idea of what happened in a case. For example, who was I referring to when I was saying, well, for example, we'll just take all of our abilities and stuff like that. So with the whole Heels on the Ground initiative with MGL, Jonathan Lee Riches, Olivia, and me, MGL, she shocks and awes, in the grand scheme of things, she shocks and awes. And she has no problem going out there and getting attention. Those are good. I don't either. When we're out there, when we were out there, it's usually me and Marissa with our loud voices advocating. Olivia has this digital master mind type of ability. She's sweet. She gets things done. She can research well, and very soft spoken. That's why you don't really see her a whole lot in a lot of her videos. We're trying to break her out of her shell a little bit. Because, she's part of the team. She doesn't need to be behind the camera 100% of the time. So we try to bring her out into the front. But she loves being behind the camera. She's very good at that. That's her strength. And then you've got JLR, which is amazing in front of the camera. He knows how to speak. A lot of this stuff is taken on first takes. Many other people take 2, 3, 4, 5 takes to get the information out there. Jonathan's very good at what he does. He thinks about it very quickly, and he's very eloquent with his words. I am the same way. I think on my feet. I have a lot of good experience, especially with the law and crime and things of that nature that I bring with me to that, as well as, researching differently. Like Jonathan's very good at researching people and researching backgrounds and digging in and sleuthing and finding articles, old information, and bringing that to life. Whereas mine is more, background with being able to find stuff like home addresses and things of that nature, telephone numbers, stuff like that. Where if I can find a location, I know how to use public records and public record computer systems and background stuff that you can really go and easily find people and things of that nature. And that's what you want to do, or find locations or get plots of properties. That's what I'm good at. So we all had our own little, our strengths and our weaknesses. For example, one of my weaknesses is I like things, I like everything's running smooth. There's some things that don't run smooth. Olivia's is speaking in the camera. She doesn't really necessarily like that. She has a beautiful voice and she's very well put together when she makes her videos, but she almost has a stage fright, so to speak, when she's in front of the camera talking. And she, those are her weaknesses. So we all have strengths and weaknesses. All of you have different strengths and weaknesses than another person on this channel. No different. So me personally, I love the collaborated effort because I don't like relying 100% on myself because, again, I only have strengths and I only have weaknesses. Having more people on the team with their strengths and their weaknesses give you more round and a balanced, viewing of whatever case we're covering, in my opinion. So going on this long dissertation, what am I trying to say? I'm just trying to say, Jonathan appears that, he can run a ship, go out. He can be all by himself and still get a case out and a story out. My weakness is I could do the same thing. However, it's more of a struggle for me than it is for him. So I like the collaboration. I like working with people. I like doing those types of things. So, possibly going out now, again, it's not set in stone. I know Dolly is going out to Idaho, whether or not the rest of us can make it or not. I'm working very hard to try to make it out there. I know Eve's going to be working very hard to try to make it out there. We really want to get a good lay of the land. We really want to bring back the story. If this child was abducted, we definitely want to drive that narrative. We want to drive that message. We want to show you guys how that type of abduction could have happened. If it makes it almost next to impossible when we get out there to see where an abduction was possible, then we're going to express that. It's not just all about just the story either. Many of you guys know all of us want to help the victim. All of us want to help the victim. And how do we help the victim? We get out there and we work. We hand out flyers. We bring attention to his name. We bring media attention to his name. We bring social media attention to his name. We let law enforcement know what we're doing. We let the people in the community know what we're doing. And there's been so many times that I've heard, don't come out here. We don't want you here, right? We hear it in literally every case. It's like a broken record. But every time we go out there, people walk up to us. People want to tell their story. People want us to listen to them, listen to their perspective. And that's exactly what we do. Did White Rabbit make it in? Good morning, White Rabbit, if you're in here. Valkyrie's Corner, nice to see you. And I did see your message, Valkyrie. I just haven't had the time to prepare. I was wanting to have time to prepare the record requests, but as soon as I get those prepared, I'll get those sent over to you. With it being Thursday, I have to believe that I'll have time over the weekend to do it. So hopefully you'll have those Monday or Tuesday. But yes, and I'll see what angle I want to go. And then I'll start working on the records request. It'll be multiple because I don't put one. I put each individual request on its own request form because there is some type of, well, it's just a long story. I have a strategy on how I get my records, so we'll just leave it at that. Grandma's True Crime, nice to see you. Agent 99, Betty fan, nice to see you as well. Love it. Good morning, all. Jackie Chase, Stardust. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Did JLR get too many hits? I was like the week before, he kept getting hit. And I'm like, why is everybody beating up on Jonathan Lee Riches? He's like the nicest guy out there on YouTube, right? He's always out, always about. Outside of, past, I have to think at this point, 10 years later, 12 years later, he's redeemed himself. If he was going to go out and get himself in trouble and go do despicable things, I think he would have done it by now. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Miss Deb, nice to see you. White Rabbit in here? I saw everybody say White Rabbit, but I didn't see White Rabbit in here. White Rabbit, if you're in here, hi, sister from another mister. There you are. I do see you. 913. Good morning. I was talking about you. This morning. By the way, thank you for all the love over there on your channel. I really do appreciate it. I need JLR's energy. I think everybody could use a little bit of JLR energy. Yeah, I'm here. I'm laying down, watching. I'm tired. I bet you are. It was so funny because last night, I don't know how long you've been listening, but last night I was, watching Dolly, watching Turtle Island, just taking a lay of the land, watching everybody duking it out, putting their people up on the board and stuff like that, right? And we get down to like the last 30 minutes, and because I had it up on my TV, because my phone, laying down, with my neck problems and stuff like that, so I put it up on the big screen. Apparently, I fell asleep. I didn't realize I fell asleep until I woke up. Oh, Emma Louise, your dog got on there. You guys see a message from Angela Burrell, and it's weird. It's because her dog decided to jump on the keyboard. I'm still in bed, Betty. I wish I was. You guys remember the days when Bullhorn Betty came bedside? Every now and again, I will still come bedside. Back in those days, when we first started this, I wanted everybody to come as they were. Now I realize that we're growing the channel, and you got to be more professional. You can't be in bed. You can't come in here with your bed head and just roll with it. You got to, clean up. Quit smoking those vapes on YouTube. Quit cussing on YouTube, right? All those things, right? Well, I break some of the rules, just not all of the rules. You guys Molly bomb Dolly. It's so funny because I remember the first time I heard about Dolly, and I heard he wasn't speaking nice about Bullhorn Betty. So I just never went to his channel. Many of you guys know how my MO, right? If people are talking smack about me and don't even give me the opportunity to talk to them or speak to them, and they're just going to run with something and don't even bother reaching out to me for a comment, I don't have a whole lot of stock in the ability for them to say anything. And that includes Dolly Vision. So anyways, but, I watched him one night and I'm like, okay, this dude's kind of funny. I didn't know because I'd never been there. And so I popped in. They did a Dolly bomb on Bullhorn Betty, but at that point I was so butthurt, right, about him talking smack that I'm like, I heard you're talking crap about me. Why are you even here, right? He got the whole from Bullhorn Betty. Then I watched him. I'm like, okay, the guy's a cool cat. Guy's a cool cat. So I laid down my sword and stuck out my hand and shook Dolly's hand, and we've been friends ever since. So cool guy. I met him in person. The same that you get online is the same you get in person. Those are the people I like. And then you hear him taking, Savage to court, and she's talking about being a caricature. Those are the people I don't hang out with on YouTube. I want legit, authentic people, right? Like Susiana, Guidance, Eve, Dolly, JLR, Olivia, a mom, and there's a lot more that White Rabbit, Dazed, right? Dazed. They seem to be the same person online as they are in real life. Those are the people. When you don't have to change who you are to be on YouTube, those are the people I want to be around. When you got to change your personality and you got to change your persona and be somebody that you're not just to get clicks and views on you, I don't want no part of that. That's dangerous to me. That means you can just do whatever. You don't care, right? I want authenticity. I want authenticity. And the more I'm out here, we're approaching 8 months on YouTube now. We're almost at 10,000 followers. Very excited about that. We worked very, very hard. We have over 1.3 million views on this channel in that little bit of time. We really are, sometimes I wonder, am I growing enough? And, those all those things that a creator feels, a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of feelings and emotion because we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into these channels, a lot of time, a lot of money, and it's nice. Sometimes you get distracted because you have people in here, spreading hate and doing that, and you always, question yourself: Am I really? Do I really have what it takes to keep moving forward? Do I really want to move forward? All of these types of things. I think every creator, I'm pretty sure White Rabbit's had these conversations with herself. Is this really worth it? Is it worth all this nonsense? I love White Rabbit because she manages to, she's kind of the balance. She's like the calm on the streets. She's got people that I really don't associate with, and they don't associate with me. But we all get along because we all have the respect for White Rabbit, not to bring our petty BS into her shit or in her house. And I like that everybody has that respect, that they keep it clean on her channel for the most part. For the most part, still have the a-hole that doesn't really care about anybody or anything. They're just miserable people. There's nothing we can do about that, right? That's not something that's in our ability to control. The only people that we can control are ourselves. So, it's just a lot. So I've been going through, the news and the news cycle, and it's like, I've got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of questions that are starting to boil over in Summerwell's case, where we beat that poor case up, up one side and down the other. I think every possibility, every scintilla of information that's going to be available to the public is out. So now it's just, hi, bitchy, nice to see ya. It's out. So now, there's a lot of stuff that we didn't. I got to tell you that there's an interview that Cher did. We had her on here, and I said this yesterday as well. We had her on here to discuss the August 7th, 2021 interview she had with Don Wells. You guys have to know at this point how many times I've reviewed that one interview. And still to this day, every single time I listen to that interview, I pull yet more nuggets of information out. And that's just one interview. Can you imagine if we went back to all the interviews that Don and Candace gave and listened to them over and over again, how much more information we would get out of it? Because on this one interview, I want to talk to you guys about some of the stuff that I got out of it. And we were talking about Utah. Why Don went to Utah. That was a combination of 3 different creators interviews, because we had the interview with Chris McDonough where he was speaking to Mary and Jeannie, and also to make that video we went to Cher's video as well as the behavioral panel. I just dropped a video yesterday about the law enforcement arriving and when in conjunction when Don arrived, and how his timeline from the time he was told Summer was missing to the time he got home does not align correctly. And that was taken out of it looks like a Chris McDonough interview and Cher's interview. And then we have another one that I chose not to quite release yet because I am working on acquiring additional information, but it is going to be released. And that is the one where Don tried to bamboozle law enforcement to get out to his vehicle, and then tried to leave the property the day his daughter was missing, but couldn't because of all the law enforcement blocking his driveway. And there's one way in and one way out. That's it, to that property. So, block that user. If it starts getting too much, this is one person. You know what? I'm going to say it like this. Glare, if you don't stop harassing me and don't stop following me online, I'm going to file a criminal harassment complaint against you. Okay? I'm done with you. I'm done playing your games. You think this is funny? It's not funny. And if you want me to come to Tennessee and go to Marco's Pizza and address you face to face, I will be happy to do so. But I will be doing it with law enforcement. Okay? Get off my channel and stay off. We know you like harassing women. We know you like beating kids. But this is not a woman you really want to harass. I'll tear that ass up. For Pete's sakes, let them troll for a minute. Daggone. No, it's one person. It's one person. And I will be filing a complaint with Marco's Pizza as well if he doesn't stop. Trust me, it's not worth your job, man. It's not. But you really don't want to keep coming over here and harassing me. It's illegal as hell. And I'm telling you publicly to leave me alone. And if you need to have a cease and desist letter, I know where you live and I know where you work. I'll be happy to send it to you. Leave my channel alone. Get it? He's always rejected because he acts weird. When you stalk women, it's a turnoff. I may keep my mouth shut. You know, everybody likes to say, oh, Bullhorn Betty doxes everybody. No, I don't. I got a lot more information than many of you guys think on a lot of creators around here, right? I knew who Dolly was before I ever even watched his channel. Let's look at despicable people. Baby Gap made the news again today. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was. I'm sorry. I mistaken him. It's not Baby Gap. It looks like him. Oh, no, it doesn't. Well, he has a tight shirt on. Oh, my goodness. Not a face that we would ever bring home to mama. While this despicable man did not kill this lady needs to run for dear life in the opposite direction. This is the man that is right now in jail for attempted murder. For what? Strangulation. Right? Should I put, here, let me put them side by side. There we go. This is what a strangler looks like. Right here. Not here. Right there. Get it? Gotta have fun with it. Gotta have fun with it. But no, on a real note, this man, and not only that, but he's despicable. I don't know why he was even out to do this. Okay. When I start seeing people with tattoos all over their faces and all over their necks and just looks like this, the first thing that's screaming at me is drugs and alcohol. And drugs and alcohol, 100%, hands down, this man has some major issues. That means whoever he was with, i.e. that woman, most likely has those same types of issues. Why? Because people don't hang out with people like this unless they have problems. You're not seeing Bullhorn Betty hanging out with Robert Michael, right? So I hope that lady realizes she almost died and it's time to clean up her life. This man is right now behind bars. Like I said, he was, and it's kind of crazy about the story too. Because with the story, what had happened was this lady had facial lacerations on the outside of her home, and neighbors saw her in the yard. He picks her up and ushers her to the home. Law enforcement come. He refuses to open the door, and law enforcement breaches that door. They had enough probable cause to go in there and forcibly enter that home, and that's exactly what they did. They took that man into custody and sent the woman over to the hospital. She is okay. She's expected to survive. He not so much, hopefully is in law enforcement. And when I was doing research on that man, this man right here, actually robbed a pastor in 2015. He needed a ride, and a loving pastor saw him walking and decided to pick him up and take him where he needed to go. You know what his payment for doing that was? Robert Michael decides to steal his keys to the vehicle he was in and try to rob him, and was arrested in 2015 for that against a pastor that was trying to help him. He asked for help. Nobody else would help him. A pastor helped him, and his reward was being robbed. Way to go. What a great character. Yet that wasn't enough to keep him in jail for very long, because by 2020, his case was done. I'm in timeout. Karen Davis, you better not be in timeout. Hi, little dove. Nice to see you as well. What a total trash bag. He should be under the jail. Yeah. But you know what? He's not the most despicable. That's the crazy. Like, this whole thing is filled with the despicable people. But this guy here is the one that takes the cake. And actually, as a matter of fact, while I'm on here right now, might as well. Hold on a second. I'm going to go ahead and release his video. Maybe I did. Did I release it this morning? I don't think I released it this morning. So might as well go ahead and get that released now as we are speaking. Because I've been busy. I have. All right. And just for you guys' eyes only, I just published that. His name's Jose Pascal Reyes. This is a story that is pretty bad. So he was dating, we heard in the newspaper about, and on the news about a 12-year-old that is in Alabama that escaped. She gnawed through her restraints, and there was 2 decomposing bodies inside the home where she escaped from. They ended up arresting this gentleman a day later, and he is now being booked in, and there's multiple charges, first-degree kidnapping, there's and some other things. I anticipate him being also charged in the murders of the 2 deceased individuals inside that home, as well as more SA type of allegation or charges associated with the 12-year-old that was able to escape. So there are more charges coming for this gentleman, but nobody knew the relationship with this gentleman in conjunction with a 12-year-old girl. Well, this morning we now have a little more information. He actually dated this girl's mother. He dated this girl's mother. And the other person that was in there was a boy under the age of 14. And just through common sense, it now appears that it was her mother and her brother that were killed. And he kept her alive, tied up to bedposts, feeding her drugs and alcohol to keep her restrained. Now, we also are hearing that he also assaulted her. We don't know to what extent that was, but many of us can kind of figure that out on our own. The law enforcement is hailing the young 12-year-old girl a hero. This dirtbag, I hope, goes to jail. Actually, to be honest with you, I hope he's charged with capital crimes, and I hope he has to pay with his life. I am a major advocate for the death penalty. I'm sorry. People may agree. People may not agree. To each their own. That's my personal view. That's what I believe in. I believe in an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And this man has to, pay the piper. So just a disgusting individual. But in the same sense, I'm going to go ahead and play the video of him. If I got it here, there it is. We'll go ahead and play that here. If it pops up. Get this down. Let's try it again. Okay, here we go. This is being released as we speak, by the way, guys. As you can see, We look like twins because this was recorded today. Good morning, all. Happy Thursday. Bullhorn Betty here. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about this case. It is making its circles around YouTube. I chose not to run with it when it first happened because it was lacking a lot of details that were needed. So I waited for the update. I finally did get the update. This particular case is coming out of Dadeville, Alabama, which is Tallapoosa, Alabama, Tallapoosa County in Alabama. And this is just a devastating story. So this is about a young 12-year-old girl that was seen walking down the road. Check out this news clip that I've got related to this case when it first broke out.
We start tonight with a disturbing story out of Tallapoosa County.
A 12-year-old girl escapes her kidnapper after being tied up for a week. This, according to the sheriff's office.
2 bodies also found inside a house south of Dadeville where she was being held. Fox 2 News reporter Ariel Mallory has been working the story for us tonight.
Ariel, the sheriff says the victim was found just wandering down the road. Yeah, that's right, Shelby and Byron. A couple driving found her. They called 911, and that's when deputies made a horrific discovery. Deputies say Jose Pascal Reyes kidnapped the 12-year-old girl and had 2 decomposing bodies in his house.
It's horrendous to have a crime scene of this nature.
A shocking phone call for Tallapoosa County deputies Monday morning after a couple finds a 12-year-old girl wandering down this road in Dadeville. According to court documents, the child spent a week in this house tied up to a bed and drugged. Sheriff Jimmy Abbott says she managed to escape by chewing through her restraints.
We stand by that affidavit to be able to procure the kidnapping warrants. And I would say she's a hero. She's safe now. And so we want to keep her that way.
U.S. Marshals and the Auburn Police Department took 37-year-old Jose Pascal Reyes into custody Monday in Auburn. He's charged with first-degree kidnapping in addition to more serious charges for the 2 decomposing bodies found at his home.
We're looking at multiple counts of capital murder along with kidnapping in the first degree. And of course, once we continue and finish our investigation, I feel certain that several more charges will follow.
The sheriff said the child wasn't considered a missing person. He also said the couple who found her likely saved her life.
You know, we always say something, say something. And it's more of those things that, you really don't know what you're actually doing, but you're helping that young child when you're stopping there.
It's still unclear who the 12-year-old girl is and if investigators haven't identified the bodies. Live tonight in the News Center, Ariel Mallory, Fox 10 News.
As you hear, there were passerbys on a road, and a young child, 12 years old, was, walking down this road and was in clear need of help. Passerby stopped and helped her and most likely saved her life. This despicable man, Jose Pascal Reyes, apparently dated this young girl's mother. We also heard in the original articles that there were 2 decomposing bodies inside the home where this girl was being held. Those decomposing bodies were most likely her mother and her brother. Her mother, Sandra, was dating Jose Reyes at the time that this incident took place. While we do not have all the details related to this case just yet, we do not have her brother's name or her name, which will most likely never be told to us until it's much closer to trial. And the reason why I say that is because she is 12 years old and her brother is under 14. Does that mean he's a younger brother or an older brother? We don't know. That is the information we have at this moment. Here's a more updated news conference press release from CNN that was released yesterday, late yesterday.
Horrific story out of Alabama in our national lead now, where a 12-year-old girl who was assaulted and kept in a drugged state from alcohol managed to escape captivity, and she led authorities to a gruesome discovery. 2 decomposed bodies have been found Monday inside a home where she had been held. A 37-year-old man has been arrested on numerous charges. CNN's Amber Walker is covering this horrifying case. Amber, tell us more about how this young girl escaped.
Yeah, a lot of disturbing details that we are learning tonight, Jake. So this 12-year-old girl in Tallahassee County, Alabama, she was tied by her wrists to bedposts for approximately a week. She was given alcohol, as you said, to be subdued, even physically assaulted by the suspect. This is according to court documents. What's really remarkable is that she was able to chew off those restraints and even breaking off her braces to make her escape. And that is when she was found wandering in a rural area there in East Central Alabama. A motorist was concerned enough to make a phone call to authorities, and that is what led to police arresting 37-year-old Jose Pascal Reyes on Tuesday, the day after she escaped. And here's what the Tallahassee County Sheriff had to say about her harrowing ordeal. Listen.
It's horrendous to have a crime scene of this nature, and also a 12-year-old juvenile to deal with it. She's a hero. And it's one of those things that we want to get into later. We're gave her medical attention, and she's safe now. And so we want to keep her that way.
Yeah, during the course of the investigation, authorities also discovered 2 decomposing bodies inside the suspect's home. We just got some new court documents, and it identifies these 2 bodies. The first one being identified as Sandra Vasquez Ceja. The documents say that she was reportedly smothered to death with a pillow after she was kidnapped by Reyes. A second body, it was not identified by name, but we do understand it to be a boy that is under 14 years old. He was reportedly beaten to death by Reyes, according to these documents. And also the bodies cut into small pieces to hide evidence. So a lot of shocking details here. Reyes now facing capital murder charges along with corpse abuse charges. So Jake, the question is now, how are these victims related or connected to each other and to the suspect?
As you hear Sheriff Jimmy Abbott state, this young girl is definitely a hero.
She's a hero.
What she went through was something short of unspeakable. This gentleman, Jose Pascal Reyes, is a monster. This is one of the most horrific type of scenes that this Dadeville community has experienced. Thank God this young girl was able to chew through her restraints to get free. We want to send our love and our support to this young girl that is now waking up to reality that she's never going to see her mother or brother again. Again, this was at the hands of one evil monster. I will be updating you guys on this case as this case, if more charges are added, which I anticipate will be added, because we heard indicators that state that he was keeping her drugged with alcohol and other substances. We know her age was 12 years old. Her mother was killed, her brother was killed, and she was assaulted. So I expect to see some type of SA type of assaults showing up on his being arrested and charged with those additional charges. And I hope this man never sees the light of day again. These are the types of monsters that deserve to be behind bars the rest of their life. Good morning, all. Happy Thursday. Bullhorn Betty.
Sorry,
here.
I hit a button.
To send our love. Killed, her brother was killed, and she was assaulted.
Sorry about that.
So I expect to see some type of SA type of assaults showing up on his being arrested and charged with those additional charges. And I hope this man never sees the light of day again. These are the types of monsters that deserve to be behind bars the rest of their life. God bless each and every one of you. If you found this video informative, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Bullhorn Betty channel. Thank you, Douglas. There we go. That was it. So that was just one of the cases that I covered. The other one will be released later today, and we're going to be readdressing. I'm going to be preparing that video that I told you I was going to release yesterday. I'm still working on some additional information about Don Wells attempting to leave the property the day that his daughter went missing and was unable to do so. And not only that, but he actually lied to law enforcement as to why he needed to go out to his car. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be bombshell breaking information. We've actually heard it before, but never picked up on it. So Bullhorn Betty is picking up on it, and we will be airing that later today. For each and every one of you guys, God bless you. Sorry, it's a short live, but today's Thursday. I've got a lot of work ahead of me, a lot of videos to put out. I hope you guys are watching them. I hope you guys are finding them informative. And yes, we are going over a lot of cases that are not just related to Summer Wells, Michael Vaughn, Cody Bigsby. This world is a despicable place, and we capture that each and every day here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Stay vigilant, folks, and don't forget to be fearless. God bless each and every one of you.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.